if you're Nigerian, your parents either want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or, you know, just someone that's working a 9 to 5. But I would say I kind of tricked my mom into thinking the music was just, it was just going to be a one-off thing.
Okay, I want to say good evening to Mr. YC.
Hello, good evening.
What's good, man?
I'm great, you know, loving the vibe. It's sunny in London for the first time. It's the first time I'm in London and it's this warm, so I'm loving every minute of it.
We were talking about, I was saying that you're always in London, and you were saying that you're not really.
I'm not. I feel like I'm hardly in London because anytime I come here, you know, it's probably like a 1 month trip, and before you know, 1 month is done, I have to go back home. So I mean, hopefully, real soon we might just get a crib out here and just move everybody from Lagos out here and be like, you know what, London, we here now. We're here.
You had your tour or your headline show.
My headline
not too
show.
long ago.
Yeah.
And what was that experience like for you?
I mean, that was a very, very key moment in my career so far, because that was my first headline show ever, you know, Lagos, London, wherever. That was the very first moment, and I mean, we thank God it was an amazing success, you know. We're able to fill up the O2 Islington. A lot of people came out, a lot of people had a good time, a lot of surprise guests. And yeah, I mean, you know, big shout out to my management, my label, and everyone that worked with us on that journey. It was a good one.
Explain to us a bit about your management structure and how you and your manager got together.
So pretty much I'm signed to Tinny Entertainment, and, you know, Tinny owns the label, and I don't know, sometimes it doesn't feel right saying he's the manager, unless, you know, you're saying he's the manager of the label, because he runs the label. He's hands-on on everything that happens, like from, you know, whatever is going on down to if there is water in the dispenser in the office. You know, he's that hands-on. So I got signed to Tinny Entertainment in 2012, and I think that was pretty much when the label started out. I was one of the first artists on the line. You know, I was supposed to be the understudy to the main artist on the label, and for some reason, you know, he parted ways with the label, and in the blink of an eye, I was pushed to the forefront. You know, they had to shoot a video for me, put out singles, so my music journey pretty much just started, and I was learning on the job. You know, management also was learning on the job because the establishment was very new. I was a new artist to the scene, so it was a situation where, you know, I would introduce myself as YC from Tinny Entertainment, and people would be like, YC from, like, you know, so it took a lot of time for us to work up to the point where we are today, and I'm glad to say that, you know, I started this journey from when the label was really small up until this point now, where we have like 4 artists altogether on the label. So it's a great sense of belonging to be a part of something from the ground up.
Did you do the Made in America festival?
Yeah, I came on Malik set.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
One thing that always struck me about you is that you're a performer.
Yeah.
You have the energy, you have the charisma. But being from, like, we're Nigerian, like, how do you sell in the whole fact, like, I'm not gonna be a doctor, I'm not gonna be like a lawyer, I'm gonna chance it at music?
I'm not gonna lie, you know, trying to break out from that mold where if you're Nigerian, your parents either want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or, you know, just someone that's working a 9 to 5. But I would say I kind of tricked my mom into thinking the music was just, it was just going to be a one-off thing. Because I remember when I finished secondary school, that was pretty much when I started, you know, paying attention to my music talent. And I didn't get into uni the year after secondary school, so I had a lot of time. I was at home. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with myself? And I started recording. So when I used to tell my mom, oh, I want to go to this studio, I want to go here, she just used to say, okay, at least, you know, you're keeping busy. So she just felt at some point he's going to get tired and, you know, get back to being a doctor or lawyer. So from, okay, mom, I'm going to the studio, to, okay, I just got a record deal, to, okay, I just shot my first video, okay, and she's finally seen it on TV. That's when she was like, okay, this is actually really getting serious. So before they could even talk me out of, you know, being a musician, I was already kind of established. So I was like, well, joke's on you, I'm already an artist. So, and I think right now it's a good thing to see that parents are becoming a lot more understanding, as opposed to back then, where if you say you wanted to be an artist or you wanted to be a DJ or a model or actor, your parents would pretty much start crying and saying, this child has killed me, or, you know, so, but I feel in my case, you know, my mom is a bit of a creative, so she understood what it was like when a kid says he wants to do something. So I would say I got a bit of free hand, but, you know, not that many people are as lucky as I was.
One thing I want to actually pick up on, because I haven't been to Nigeria in 10 years, so I'm overdue. But I'm going this December. But there's finances, but I feel that there's a lot of times, like even when I was going back, even as a 15-year-old, I had aunties saying, "Oh yeah, bring me something."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 15.
What can I possibly bring?
What can I bring? I don't even have a job. Yeah, you know, buy me some perfume. And I was thinking, wow. But then now I think for you, you're traveling a lot. So how do you reconcile that whole situation where everyone thinks like you're a money man or Jordan? You must bring, like, you know, you have to have that empty suitcase and bring all that stuff in it.
I don't tell people when I'm coming back. Anytime I leave the country, I don't tell people when I'm coming back. And, you know, if you see me, you see me. If you see me, you see me. Because I know definitely, like, my mom is like my number one priority when I travel. Then, you know, my brother and then my guys. So when I've got stuff for my mom and my guys, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Then if, and only if, you know, sometimes I just buy some extra stuff just in case, you know, anyone that catches me. Because, I mean, the first time I traveled out, right, it was like, ah, man, this is so cool. And then I start getting messages like, yo, this is my... They don't even tell you bring something back. They just be like, oh, my shoe size is 42. You know, or I like large. Or that shirt you're wearing, it's nice. Does it come in black? So most times when I'm done, I just be like, when are you coming back? When they ask when are you coming back, say, I don't know, man. You know, it's really busy out here. I might be at the airport and I'll be like, oh, man, I don't know when I'm coming back, but soon. So as soon as I get back and I see my mom, and I just go on the G until somebody bumps into me in public.
I mean, back home, what's it like for you back home? Like, I'm sure when you go home, does everyone recognize you in anywhere you go in Nigeria, or is it still?
Nah, man, everywhere, any and everywhere, no matter how. Like, I was at a J. Cole concert where I was supposed to perform. So part of my act, I had like a balaclava on, where it was literally only my eyes that you could see. And as soon as I got into the venue, or I was walking to the venue, and there were fans outside, that's YCEE. And in my head, I'm like, how do you know it's me when the only thing you're saying is my eyes? How do you know it's me? And they're like, we know you. I'm like, how? There was a time where before I used to wear like a hat and it would easily be a disguise. But now I wear a hat and they're like, oh, that's YCEE. YCEE, how far? And I'm like, okay, the hat doesn't work anymore. So I don't even know if full mask is not going to work, I don't even know what's going to work again.
So that's the thing that I've always wondered, because like I was speaking to Tiwa about this and also Malik, and I was like, like Niger, they all say that you need to know how to move. Yeah. And I'm like, the few times I've been there and we've had to move kind of like incognito, it's like, it was hard for me. I was thinking like, why are we, don't speak, don't let them hit. I'm thinking, no. But then I'm thinking for you, how do you then now have a normal day-to-day life back home when you're like so popular, people recognize you? Does it affect your normal life?
Yeah, I feel it will affect it if you let it. You know, most times when I go out, I'm on my ones. You know, it's me and probably a bunch of people. I don't have a bodyguard. I don't have security detail, because I feel like I'm that in touch with my fan base. I'm that in touch with, you know, the streets of Lagos. I won't say I'm a street guy. Like, I'm not the hardest guy out there, but I know my way about. You know, I'm one person I feel like I'm able to connect to, like, you know, the uptown and people that are downtown in the ghetto. So most times when I'm in positions where I see people like, oh, YCEE, I know how to handle them. Like, cause I feel like at the end of the day, you know, these people that you see, it's not hate, it's actually excitement, cause they're like excited to see you. So in that moment, if you give them like the wrong impression, it's gonna stick with them forever. So if I'm leaving the show and, you know, the venues are usually crowded at the end and they're like, no, you have to wait. I'm like, no, I'm not waiting. I'm going to walk out and I'm going to walk and keep moving. So if you're like, oh, that's YCEE, before you come up to me, I'm gone. So I feel like, you know, most people have like bodyguards and all that stuff, and I understand, because there are times where it gets a little bit crazy, but I like to feel that, you know, I like to feel that love. I like to let the people know that I am equally as human as you are. So that way they easily understand you. So most times, I mean, if I see somebody, if I'm out and somebody wants a picture, I'm like, okay, yeah, but just make it quick, you know. And they will respect that, and they will even cherish the picture a lot more, seeing that you took time out to take that picture with them.
I mean, that's amazing, and I hear you. But those are fans. I've been Navy Town, like certain places in
Oh
Lagos,
man,
and I'm
Navy
like,
Town, that's why I went to school.
so it's like, you are not going anywhere on your own. You or your boy, you will leave. You will come back with no shoes.
I said that's how everybody feels. But when you actually go out, you see it's not even like that.
Because I think you're from it.
Yeah.
For me, is I was walking around tiptoe. I was like, because they scared.
But even myself, there are certain places that I wouldn't go to on my ones. I wouldn't even no way.
So how do you feel now? Because like, I feel like with I feel your star's just gonna keep on rising. And with obviously the collaboration of you and Malik, which done really well, which is still a banger today. And I know you've spoken about that plenty of times, but do you feel that was the song that kind of like really kicked on your career, or do you feel it was just supporting what was already happening back home?
I feel like, you know, with every song we put out, because most people ask me this all the time, what's your biggest song? And I can't really answer that because I feel like every single material we put out had its special role to play. So sometimes I feel like if I put out Juice as my first song, would it have done as well? You know, so for me, if I'm to ask, I say Jagaban was like, it's a song that even, I don't know, sometimes I go to shows and my management is like, okay, you're not performing Jagaban today. And in my chest, I'm like, I feel like I'm betraying one of my kids because, you know, Jagaban was pretty much what made everything, like, I feel Jagaban was the foundation that had to be there for every other thing to grow, because that song, till today, I can't explain it, you know. We had different plans for the song. We put out the song with the idea of it being a filler online, just something that people would listen to until the next single. And when we dropped it, an hour later, my phone started blowing up. That was when I blew, pretty much. And, you know, it's one song that I always listen to and I think about, and there's so many memories because I remember performing that song in so many places, and I never for once got tired. So Jagaban definitely for me is one song that stands out. But Juice came at a time where, you know, a lot of people were questioning, okay, YCEE has put out Jagaban, YCEE has put out Omar Alaji, YCEE has put out Link Up. Can YCEE put out another banger? Is YCEE...
So at that point, was it the doubt? Were they getting resistant to your progress?
Yeah, a lot of people, because I feel that's the thing. Once there's a new cat on the block that's actually making progress, you know, I don't like to think I get hate, because I feel like what you put out is what you get back. So, because I have no reason to put out hate for anyone, so I believe I don't get any hate. I just get people that don't understand, you know, my craft or my style. So there was always people at every step of the journey that were like, okay, so I feel like YC's not going to get, you know, a bigger song than Jagaban. YC's not going to get a bigger song than Omar Alaji. And when Juice came out, you know, everybody knew it was a good song. Like, everybody on my team knew it was a good song. But I don't think anybody predicted that song going as far as it went. And as soon as it dropped, it was... Juice was off an EP, right? And I felt like nobody listened to the other songs on the EP because of Juice. Everyone was like, up till now, I put out new music and, you know, I still have people doing choreography, posting videos on Juice. And so I feel like most times when I make music, I don't like to think of topping something I've done before. I just keep making music. As long as it's good music, you know, the hit records are going to come either way. You know, I think the problem was for a lot of people because I started off music as a rapper. You know, at the time I wasn't that confident in my singing because it was something that I was, you know, trying to work on the ground. And I remember a time where anytime I was in the studio, right, if I was working on a record, all I would do was just lay the verses and we'll leave space for a chorus. We had to feature somebody on the chorus. So it got to a point where I got a voice trainer, right? And, you know, the guy, I won't lie, he taught me a bunch of stuff, but I felt like it got to a point where after the first 3 lessons, I wasn't learning anything new. So I was like, okay, your job is done. Bye-bye. So I started getting better with singing. The better I got, the more singing I was doing, the less I was rapping. So I feel like people just thought, okay, because YC is a rapper, why is he singing? You know, because I feel like at the end of the day, if I'm doing it right, at least you will commend the fact that, okay, well, even though he used to rap before and he's singing now, he's actually, you know, he's doing it right. So I felt like people were actually confused. You know, they thought it was a sellout move, and they felt betrayed and everything. And I fully understand that. But at the end of the day, I mean, I love singing because it comes out well. If it wasn't coming out well, then that would be a problem. But I like to sing.
Yeah, that shows some humility, like even getting a vocal coach. Like, there's a lot of people who they should just get a small vocal coach.
I mean, it's like, trust me, man, there's like, I learned a lot of things. I learned, because singing is not just about having a good voice. You know, I won't say I have the best voice out there. Like, my voice is cracked. My voice is like cracked, really. But singing is all about breath control. You know, there's the head voice, there's the chest voice, there's the stomach voice. So you wouldn't know all these things if you didn't get a voice trainer. So if you need a voice trainer, get a voice trainer.
But I was gonna ask, so that whole part of performing live,
Yeah.
performing, dancing, moving, and singing, that really is where the breath control really kicks in.
Has to come in there, cause you don't want to lose your breath on stage. It's never a good thing, you know. I've been in a position where I got to the peak and I was like, man, I still have like about 4 songs on the set. So, you know, you have to control everything. Mind you, you're performing, you know, and you're dancing at the same time. So you're using up a lot of energy. You're using up a lot of air. So it's like calculating, okay, I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna. So that's why, I mean, when you see amazing performers like Beyonce and all these guys, you know, doing 2-hour sets with complete choreography, it's not even a joke. It's practice.
Yeah. So this year, what is the actual plan and vision for this year? Because you had are you going to be planning to do another headline tour this year, or?
Yeah, you know, the funny thing about performances is most of the time it's promoters that are booking certain shows. They're the ones that handle it. But I feel like working on the Juice concert in January, it exposed us to, you know, a whole different vibe when it comes to like shows and everything. And I feel like we're learning on the job, and it was a good night out. It was a good show. Everything worked well. So I mean, definitely we are looking forward to doing more events, you know, solely off my music. Not like okay, I'm having this show, I have this artist, I want you to be a part of the lineup, as opposed to, you know, me going to a city and being like, okay, I want to do my own show, my own 1 hour or 2 hour set and all that. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of that this year in different areas. We were able to do London in January. Hopefully later in the year, you know, we'll go to other cities like probably Birmingham, Manchester, Leicester, and, you know, just actually spread it out, because I feel a lot of artists don't really have that touring culture anymore. When I say touring culture, I'm not talking about you going somewhere and, okay, who's the promoter in this city?
Yeah, it's not just the PA.
Yeah, it's not about, you know, getting booked. It's about actually going, okay, I'm coming here and I'm doing my own show. So it will be your own experience. And, you know, what that does for the artist is it lets your fans see you in the light that you want them to see you. You know, they hear the sound the way you want it to sound. And I mean, I'm going out to Canada sometime this month, so definitely I'm really looking forward to Canada as well.
This guy, they travel. That passport.
Nah, hey. Try, man. Try the passport. You know, the passport has to earn its stripes.
Any last words you want to shout out? Anyone you want to big up or mention? Don't tell anyone that you're in London, obviously. Where are you?
I saw that your interview.
Yes, you're there for Google.
You know, I mean, first and foremost, I have to shout out to my team, my label, my management. You know, they've been home for the past 6 years, and I mean, there's been ups, there's been downs, but we've been able to pull through every situation, and the future is always looking brighter. So, big shout out to Tinny Entertainment, big shout out to Tiny, and you know, everyone that's been with me on this journey every step of the way. You know, even those people that for some reason had to, you know, get off the journey. But a big shout out to everyone that's supporting my music. Big shout out to everyone that's enjoying my music. And, you know, I'm going to keep making music to the best of my ability. And big shout out to my mom. You know, my mom is like the #1 love of my life. So if I don't shout out Mom, I don't know who else I'm going to shout out. So, yeah. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IAM_YCEE.
You got how many? You got over like what's it, 1.4 million? Have you not got enough now?
Yeah.
You need to share now.
Enough is never enough. Even when you get enough, enough is never enough. Yeah.
Well, I see. Thank you for your time. Sir.
Bless.
Thank you.